moving on really quick.
2 minutes.
So much like
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So they
Harley, Linda, hello?
Okay, we're gonna get the meeting in motion tonight. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Okay, we're gonna get the meeting in motion tonight and we'll start. Thank you. Glad to see everyone here tonight. Pledge allegiance to the flag. We'll take a roll call, please. To the republic. Okay, we're gonna get the meeting in motion tonight. Thank you. I will see you here tonight. Pledge allegiance to the flag. We'll take a roll call, please.
Yeah, can we do that? We're. Check.
Jeff, you guys hear us on the Zoom?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, continue with the roll call. Is that it? Okay, thank you. All right, with that, take a few of the minutes. We have two March 16, 21, and special board meeting from the same day, March 16.
I move to the board to approve regular board meeting minutes of March 16th, 2021, and our special
Yes,
board
yes.
meeting, March 16th, 2021. All trustees and their opportunity to review them prior to today's meeting.
Second motion?
Any comment, comments, or corrections? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call for approval.
Trustee Martin?
Aye.
Trustee Olet?
Aye.
Trustee Sidorovsky?
Aye.
Trustee Chadwick?
Aye.
Trustee McCall?
Aye.
Trustee Snell?
Aye.
President Berkman?
Aye, thank you very much. Moving on to the item number 5. First, citizens' comments. Person wishing to address the board are asked to state your names and address for the record. The comments should be one time and then for 3 minutes if the individual alone. 5 minutes is representing the board. The microphones are right over here today and or we can bring it around. Anyone wish to make any comments? First round.
Is it on? Yeah, okay. Joe Russ, 16800 West Shadow Drive, New Berlin, representing 559997 Basswood Street. I'm going to speak about 2 items on the agenda. One I see is the Boston Store building is on the agenda, and whatever you do with it, I hope you do not decide to do a TIF. You've done one TIF with it already a number of years ago, and that, you know, while it may have paid off, it's closed. So and I think I was the only one who spoke against TIFs in the past. The other thing I'd like to speak about is the proposal for non-residents to use a dump, non-resident landowners to use a dump. For those who still may be against it, please consider, since we don't live here, but just pay taxes here, would you also deny us fire and EMS services? Since we don't live here but pay taxes here, would you also deny us police services? Since we don't live here but pay taxes here, would you also deny us garbage and recyclable collection? Since we don't live here but pay taxes here, would you also deny us with major pathways along our property winter snow plowing? The answer is no. But when it comes to using a dump for brush that we have cleared or trimmed, or something left over by a former tenant, right now, you have issues with that. I'd like you to explain to me at some point why one of those things is not like the other. And I hope you decide to go with the punch card situation. Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Anyone else?
Colleen Feckmeyer, 5921 Current Lane, Greendale. I'm running for village trustee. Today's the last day. But I just think you can't get enough compliments, and I wanted to compliment the DPW today because this winter when we had all that snow, the plows dug up a big gouge in my yard. And I just thought, okay, when spring comes, we'll fix that. You know, we'll cover it over and put some seed in, whatever. Lo and behold, the other day, my husband and I come home and it's all done. DPW came and did it without, I never asked them. I didn't even think they did do that, but just want to compliment them for that.
Good job, guys. Any other comments at this point? Not seeing any, we'll move on to the standing committees, starting with Finance Committee, Trustee Bowers.
Thank you, President Birmingham. Several things on tonight. First thing, the Finance Committee is recommending to the board for approval, beverage operator license FC 2108. The training has been completed by the police department on both these. Nicholas Camaresi for Peters Deli and Lowell Lula for Vintage 38. I move to for approval of these licenses.
Second the motion?
Does anybody have any questions or concerns about these licenses before I ask for roll call? In that case, I would ask for roll call.
Trustee Olet.
Aye.
Trustee Zebrowski.
Aye.
Trustee Chadwick.
Aye.
Trustee McFall.
Aye.
Trustee South.
Aye.
President Birmingham.
Aye.
Trustee Guardian.
Aye. Next item for the Finance Committee is discussion and necessary action regarding the bids for the water main relay project, FC 2109. This is the project that's going between the middle school back there to the woods, to Harvest Court.
Pardon?
Harvest.
It goes from, we had an issue, from apricot to azalea.
Azalea, okay. It's got a lot of problems with it, and we talked about this at a prior meeting. It's a necessary item that has to be funded. And so the Finance Committee is recommending that we do fund this. It was discussed before. And I'd like to hear some background from that.
Yeah, the reason staff was suggesting this is because this is one of the problematic mains that we have that's in the middle of the woods. So when they break, a lot of times we don't hear it. We don't find out about it until the alarms on our system start going off. And this break that we had this winter off this main, and this is the original main from when the village was first built, caused, I think it's 5 other water main breaks because of pressure fluctuations in the system.
We'll make a motion and I will take questions on it. The Finance Committee moves to the village board to approve the bid from Globe Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $128,810 for the water main relay project as outlined by Manager Michaels a moment ago.
Second motion?
Any comments in regards to this project from any trustees?
No, just to let everybody know, this is much needed. It was a problem when I ran the show down there too, so this is a good thing.
Okay.
Do we have any kind of estimate of when it will be completed or started?
No, I don't recall when it's scheduled.
Okay. It is for this year though, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Then since I don't see any other questions, then I'd like to ask for a roll call on this, please.
Trustee Zebrowski.
Aye.
Trustee Chadwick.
Aye.
Trustee McFall.
Aye.
Trustee South. President Birmingham. Trustee Guardian. Trustee Olet.
Aye.
Next item on the Finance Committee is the Finance Committee internal audit review of bills presented for payment. This particular month, Trustee McFall had the honor to do this, and each month it rotates trustees to pull up P-card, ACH, and checks at Miranda to review the documentation behind it. Trustee McFall, if you give an update, too, appreciate it.
Yeah, everything's going well. I'm almost free from each account, and I want to say that I found a 4-cent mistake and billed 4 cents. I I had none, so we're good to go, so.
Outstanding, trustee Wall, and our budget for the year is 4 cents a head. That one, yeah. Thank you. The next item is the approval of accounts payable checks for payment. Finance committee has reviewed and recommends approval to the Board of Accounts Payable checks 57383 to 57453 in the amount of $192,668.63. Also for approval, the ACH payments in the amount of $844,559.17. And the P card purchases in the amount of $101,686.26 for a grand total. Asking for approval is $1,138,914.06. I'd ask for a
Second the
second.
motion?
Okay. All trustees have had a chance to look over these. Are there any questions in regards to any of these items in the packets? I see none, so I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Patrick?
Aye.
Trustee McFall?
Aye.
Trustee South?
Aye.
President Bergenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Barfield?
Aye.
Trustee Olet?
Aye.
Trustee Pedro?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is the status of accounts 2020 year end.
Kristen's right.
Yes, I hope that you can hear me.
Not really.
Not very well.
You have to turn the volume up for
Me? Oh,
Eric's got it.
thank you.
Aye.
Okay, so we've completed the bulk of the audit. How does it sound? Can you hear me?
It's adequate, but not great.
Okay, I will try to speak a little louder. We had completed the bulk of the audit, and the auditors are working on putting the financial statements together, which will be brought to an upcoming board meeting and presented to the board. The 2020 adopted budget included using $361,000 in general fund balance, if you recall. And even though we typically budget to use fund balance, we try to end each year with no use of fund balance. As I had mentioned at an earlier meeting, though we came in well under budgeted expenses, we also came in under budget in revenues, and it was leaving us at a net loss of roughly $200,000. And in other words, that means using roughly $200,000 in fund balance. In 2019, if you remember, we had to use $297,000 of fund balance. I know, and you know, that we're all cognizant of the rating agencies and how we will look to investors if and when we will do another bonding. The Capital Improvement Fund this year did not spend all of the levy that was allotted to it for the year, and there was a remaining $200,000 that would roll over into 2021. We spoke with the auditors about whether we could transfer the extra funds from the capital fund in 2020 to the general fund to prevent the use of fund balance in the general fund for 2 years in a row. With the auditors okay, we moved the $200,000 in unused capital improvement levy to the general fund. This leaves both funds coming out almost even for 2020. So then at the beginning of 2021, we're able to transfer that $200,000 back from the general fund to the capital improvement fund, so it's available for use for 2021 in the capital project fund.
That is great news.
Right, so we're coming in just around even. It was looking a little, maybe lose $2,000 or something, but I don't know if the auditors will be able to help us get that to be just flat even, given what our budget was and what it's looking like. This is good news, but wanted to let you know of this kind of strategy to look better.
Good job.
Yeah,
Thank you
COVID.
very much.
COVID did have a big effect on our revenues,
I know.
and it really did.
Thank you, Kristen. Any trustees questions for Kristen's update? The next one is also Kristen's status of accounts February 28th.
I guess, yep. Could I just ask one question?
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry.
Backing up to you.
So are we gonna discuss at all about the money that we're gonna be getting from the state, those, the grants for the municipalities? That's not, when are we gonna talk about that?
We can, once we get more details. There's not a lot of detail on what all qualifies, what doesn't.
Okay.
Good question. Any other questions for the year end? Okay, Kristen, if you could give us a little update on February 28th, 2021?
Yeah, I had not really prepared very much. We're so early in the year with that nothing was standing out. You know, we look a little with the snowplow, always it's that way, because then it'll sit that way till the end of the year. So nothing looking very out of line. And I think that Trustee Olet was right in saying when we're looking forward to 2021, that as we find out how this money, how we would be able to use it, that it could really turn out a positive year. And I can't say again, so much money that was earned by the health department, that, you know, all the work that they did, that they weren't doing normal work. So the grants paid for that, for year end was making them come in well under what we had budgeted. But I don't have anything big for February.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Any last questions for Kristen on anything? If not, thank you very much for the great update. President Birmingham, that concludes the finance committee for tonight.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gardner. Planning Commission, Library Board.
You all should have gotten the annual reports handed out to you. We will updates, we got staff resignation in February, so we were able to retire, we were probably some folks, and we're retired someone in March, that was laid off previously. Brian and the library board president, Kate Dombrowski, they're looking to maintain a good relationship with the trustees and the board. They're going to develop a plan to improve communication with us and how to share information with us as well. And we'll likely request a meeting with Jason and Todd to discuss strategies for you know, how to best strengthen the relationship between the two boards once the new board is in place. And finally, Brian did review the library's plan for participation in all of the celebrations that we've approved. And it looks like most of the library's activities in those events is going to look very much like the pre-COVID years.
Wonderful.
And that is the update for the library board.
Excellent.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Brian. All right, moving on to the public.
No meeting.
Board of Health.
No meeting.
Health, welfare, and safety.
No meeting.
We meet next week.
Public celebration.
We meet next week.
Something to bring up under old business, I think this is the right spot, I think this is hot. I had one of the other trustees mentioned, in the water plant, is there any possibility for us to someday be able to look and see, remember we used to have the dog park we're looking for? Is that feasible? At 68, and it's possible. I was thinking that we could
It's just
get that
big,
on the
right?
radar to try to take a look at it.
No, we can get there. I think it's possible, the only constraint that we
We don't have that about that either, but I want to bring it up.
the one in Sierra River, that's a flag lot, and you know, it goes out larger, you have to pass the water lines.
We could open that gate though and go behind by the building. There's parking too.
No.
Is not.
We wouldn't let anybody.
Oh, your
because
goodness.
that's-
Oh, okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Just something to look at. Thank you very much.
I was looking for a spot.
All right, moving on to the BOT 21-20, discussing necessary action regarding the record and recycling yard on the agenda. Trustee Barton and trustee Levesque. I am going to ask the board permission to remove this and put it on the next agenda, and that we will have a new board that will be able to address this going forward.
Okay.
Along with that, and we'll move to the next. Very good. With that, we'll move on to item B. BOT 21-24, discussing necessary action regarding the ordinance amendment to eliminate bonding requirement for the board staff. And is that, Manager Michaels?
This is something that has to do with your look at. If you're cleaning up language that's old, you now have multi-million-dollar insurance policies, not small bonds. The largest bond we had was $28,000, and we've got millions of dollars of debt insurance. So it needs to change because usually it's allocated.
And so what does it really mean, Todd?
Main thing means is you don't require us to get bonds for these positions, which is crossed out on bottom of 81.
So it's not, it's a non-bonded position?
No, we wouldn't get bonds because we have debt insurance. We have millions of dollars of debt insurance,
So it's,
like employee debt insurance.
so that was kind of redundant.
All language. Remember the beginning of the bond with working. We didn't have them. Okay. We didn't have insurance. Much bigger. Gotcha. And then you go to the treasure valuation on page 2, and the part of language that treasure all we have to do the treasure deductions.
I will take a motion.
Can I just want to ask. Is there some kind of value though to bonding, like if you're unbondable or something like that, like as a person? I mean, is that why this was ever put into place in the position? You know what I mean? Like in banks. I mean, it still happens. People still have to be bondable. You know what I mean? I just didn't know that. What was that?
I understand that.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean,
I just wondered.
$2,000 bonds just
Because we do background checks and everything anyway, right? Yeah, just a question.
All right, so we have a motion.
Right. What was it?
I'll take a motion to
Make a motion for the village board to approve the repeal and replace section 309 of the village code of eliminating bonding requirements for the village staff. Is that a second, please?
Second.
All right, further discussion.
I don't know. I mean, I guess my thing is a lot of times in different positions, let's say you were let go from a job and it didn't, they didn't prosecute you, then you get hired somewhere else, but you wouldn't be unbondable, and they do further background checks than a normal, employer or human resources would do. That would be a concern of not having an employee being bonded.
Does this have any, loss?
Yeah.
So we
I can take that.
Yeah, but I mean,
should we just table this?
because I know that's how it's all been. You know what I mean? Okay, that'd be great.
We tried for motion, just ask that we table the next meeting. Second.
I'll second that.
Second.
There you go.
Yeah, table.
Next agenda.
Table to next agenda.
Let's just bring it back. Let's just bring it back. Bring it back for next, all right, on to number 16, 14/21/25. Discussion necessary action. Resolve on the former Boston. Resolution finding the former Boston store property located at 5300 South 76th Street, tax parcel number 650,999, gas 0031, to be blighted property as defined by section 66133(5)(c) of Wisconsin statute. Thank you, Marshall.
Just for more notes, the CDA approved resolution is also recommending buying it. We are not doing that tonight because we're going to keep that authority with the board for now. Because if you approved it and said they could buy it, the CDA would really hold this agree. This way you have to control if you want to decide to buy it or not buy it. Yes.
Motion to approve resolution R 2021-01, affirming findings of the Community Development Authority that the sworn loss of property of 5300 South 76th Street be blighted. I'll second it.
Discussion, further discussion on that item?
I just didn't hear what Todd said about the buying of it because the heater kicked on.
The CDA passed a resolution, and in their resolution, it says they also recommend the authority to buy the lost property. We took it out, staff took it out of this resolution, because otherwise we passed it, they could buy it, or we know the board decided not to, for whatever reason. This way, you guys have the authority, yeah, to do it.
Okay, thank you.
I understand that just we wanted the board to have the. Yes. Any further discussion? Not roll call for approval.
Trustee McCall?
Aye.
Trustee South?
Aye.
President Abraham?
Aye.
Trustee Bergman?
Aye.
Trustee Olet?
Aye.
Trustee Sidorovsky? Trustee Chair?
Aye. Item number, P2020-1, consider the proclamation 2021-01, beginning Saturday, 23/2/21, as Green Day in the village of Green. Let's take a motion on this rest of the.
I recommend to the board to approve proclamation P 2021-01, declaring Saturday, May 22nd, 2021, as Clean and Green Day in the village of Greendale.
Second that motion. It's much needed after this winter.
Which bridge is it? Which bridge over Gill Creek? One behind Bridges?
Yeah.
And also Sally.
I won't be here. That's a good one.
Because I read it at, book.
Easy.
All right, we have our first and second.
Yes.
Roll call for approval.
Trustee South?
Aye.
President Abraham?
Aye.
Trustee Bergman?
Aye.
Trustee Olet?
Aye.
Trustee Sidorovsky?
Aye.
Trustee Chair?
Aye.
Trustee McCall?
Aye.
Item number E, 2020-2. Consider affiliate proclamation 2022. Friday, April 30th, 2021. As Arbor Day in the village of Greenville. Any discussion on that? We'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve proclamation P 2020-02, claiming April 30th, 2021. This day, and the village of Greendale has done this every year, many years. It's been agreeable.
Second the motion?
Any other discussion?
Yes, I'd just like to add to it that our Tree City USA status, this also helps us. This is an event that Public Works puts on, and it does help us claim 5-year, 20-year, 25-year for Tree City USA. It's a good thing, so hope to see you people.
Just in Death Row Park. Or
Yes.
the plant tree there.
With that, I'll take a roll call.
I'd just like to mention the fact that, that is also, we thank God and his staff, they are allowing the, Regal Children's Garden to also, piggyback off of their efforts. And, we're going to be doing our launching of, reintroducing the Children's Garden back there on the same day. Thank you, Rod.
Thanks, Alan.
Further discussion? None, we'll take a roll call for approval.
President Birmingham.
Aye.
Trustee Gardner. Trustee Willett.
Aye.
Trustee Zebrowski.
Aye.
Trustee Patrick. Trustee Paul.
Aye. Aye.
Number F, 2020-03. Consider affirming proclamation 2020-03, occurring Wednesday, April 28th, 2021, as Sally Chapman Day, in the village of Greenville, in recognition of her dedicated service to the village. Sally Chadwick served on the village board of Greenville 1998 to 2021. Sally Chadwick, one time, also served on the Public Health, Welfare, Safety Committee, Public Works Committee, Historic Commission, and Planning Commission. Whereas Sally has volunteered her time for many projects, including assembling the 75th anniversary time capsule buried in the front of the Village Hall, Veterans Memorial, Secretary for the Gazebo, and President of the Historical Society. Sally Chadwick is the go-to person if you want to know anything about the history of Greenville. Be it further proclaimed that I, Dave Wareham, village president, proclaimed April 28th as Sally Chadwick's Day in the village of Greenville, in recognition and appreciation for her dedication. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim, I will vote for yours.
Motion to approve. We gotta approve.
Yeah, we do
right?
have to prove it. We have to.
If we want. Move to.
What's that?
Move to approve the proclamation 2020-03 proclaiming April 28th, 2021 Sally Chadwick Day in the village of Greenville.
Second motion.
Trustee Barber.
Aye.
Trustee Willett.
Aye.
Trustee Zebrowski.
Aye.
Trustee Patrick. Abstain. Trustee Paul.
Aye.
Trustee Bell.
Aye.
President Birmingham.
Ooh, it's that.
All right.
Ron,
Yeah.
you want to?
Can I do it?
All right.
All right.
Field that.
All right. P 2020-04, considering affirming proclamation P 2020-04, proclaiming Wednesday, April 21st, 2021, Jim Birmingham Day in the village of Greendale in recognition of his dedicated service to the village.
Second motion.
Yeah.
Jim Birmingham served on the Greenville Village Board as village trustee from 1998 to 2015, and as village president from 2015 to 2021. Jim Birmingham also served on the Public Health and Welfare and Safety Committee, Public Works Committee, Finance Committee, Park and Rec Committee, Board of
Review, Community Development Authority, and the Planning Commission. Jim, here is time for many projects, including organizing the Tucson Entertainment Association gazebo concerts on Saturday nights, helping organize the residential paper shredding events, and much more. Be it proclaimed that the Ontario Board of Trustees commends and congratulates Jim Lamb on his many years of dedication, service to the village of Greenville, and member of the board. I, Jason Sorowski, village president-elect, proclaim the 21st, 2021, Monday, again, the village of Greenville has my mission and appreciation for his dedicated service.
Thank you, everybody, for working. Really nice board, all the years. What a community, what more of it. Board, only agree on the opportunities. That we need the opportunity to be ourselves. With that, we will move right along.
You know what I'm Trustee Olet? Aye. Trustee Pedrowski? Trustee Campbell? Aye. Trustee McFall?
Aye.
Trustee Sal?
Aye.
Trustee Burbank? Trustee Burbank?
Strongly affirmative. I guess.
Thank you. All right, with this, we'll move to officer report to village manager.
I guess what we got is Jim and Sal, one board members, they were here when I first started. And it's been a pleasure with them. You know, the good thing about Greendale is the people care, residents care, the board members care, and, you know, working with the good board makes and certainly, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, the only thing I have because of this idea is, it's an honor and I'm so happy that I could be in this place and be on the board here and there's so much community for me when I was growing up. And the reason that I got here, I want to tell the story is I was very active in the boards, coming to them, mainly about taxing going up. We're going to drive us young kids out of there, we're not going to be able to live. And one of the board members said, "You don't like it, run." And that was in 1997, I ran. I would say to everybody, you really gonna want to have some thoughts of your own up here, and we're changing over this year, right? We don't think we won't have a chance. Everybody is special. Thank you. And with that, we will move to the last city. Well, I'm sorry.
Is it already, if I see it, just a
No.
Okay. All right, I appreciate that, thank you. First off, I'm a crier, so I'm gonna cry, so don't get upset, that's me. Okay, first off, I just wanted to say, you can't do a job like this without your friends and your family. And I know all of you are absolutely shocked that I have friends, but I just want you to know, they're the ones that keep me grounded. And they happen to absolutely adore and love coffee, which I do too. So they're the ones that I appreciate and I get the chance to meet every day. This is the part I'm going to cry. I have 2 kids. My son was away at college when I decided to try to become a trustee. When I asked him about it, he said, "Sure, Mom, go ahead and go for it. Doesn't bother me." And he was right. My daughter was getting ready for, she was just graduating from high school. She was getting ready for college. She said, sure, Mom, go ahead. You know, that it isn't going to bother me. I'm still going to college. And then there was my poor husband. He was home alone. And he said, yay. And he said, oh my gosh, Sally, I'm going to have to handle this, you know? He has been my rock. He has taken care of it. And thank you. I love you. Second of all, you can't have a place like Greenville without our staff. We have some of the finest people, and you're seeing their heads right now. That's pretty good. And the staff and the people that were with them, they are absolutely the finest and greatest between all of Eric, Sarah. I mean, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much for allowing me to work with you. Todd, it's been a pleasure working with you. I know you didn't agree with all of my ideas, and I did have some wild ones, but you always took the time to listen to them, and I really, truly appreciate that. I've only regretted two things about with you, and that was you never took me for a ride in your Porsche. And second of all, you always promised to take me to transfer to try their artichoke dip, and you never did. Okay. Yeah. So. I know. But Todd's been such a leader here in Greendale. It's been a pleasure. Sir, I thank you so much. Trustees, I've been with them, umpteen number of them. As June too, we've gone through a lot of trustees. Carl, I'll see you here tonight too. I think the one word that I've learned in all these years as being a trustee is the fact that it's compromise. I don't think there is a single thing that Jim or I has ever gotten through 100% what we wanted. It's always been a compromise. That's the key. That's the key to making everything work, and that's the key of Greendale and what we do, what we need for the people. Lastly, I thank the citizens for electing me, for allowing me to serve you. It's been a true honor for you to allow me to be that for you. I want to tell you, I thank you for letting me be your trustee. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Citizens comment time. Anyone wishing to any comment, please.
Joe Russ, 160 West Shadow Drive, New Berlin, representing 5597 Passwood Street. I don't know, last couple meetings, it's been hard to follow Mary Grogan's presentations to Jim and Sally. And after Sally's speech, it's going to be hard to do it, but I got to do it at some point. I'd like to thank Jim and Sally for their roughly quarter century of public service to Greendale. Feeling old yet? I started attending meetings when the original codes, guidelines were proposed many years ago. And there's been one constant at those meetings, Todd, Jim, and Sally. Since I can't top the gifts that Mary gave, Jim, thank you for your service and for a few memorable moments. Probably the biggest one was on election night 3 years ago, when you beat some other guy. And it was a heck of a night. But thank you for always being an ear and, you know, your service to the community, and being respectful, because I've dealt with some past village presidents that weren't always that way. Sally, thank you for your service and for keeping the boards, and I'm going to say that over the years, boards historically focused when they needed to be. You were the one that always brought the historic perspective to board meetings, and I think that might be missed. So hopefully you'll be joining us in the audience to give them a hard time like the rest of us. Again, your presence will be at these meetings will be missed, but thank you again for your service.
Anyone else last chance to address the board tonight? Last time to address me as the president, personally? No?
Can I just make a comment about one of our workers?
Somebody up here?
Yeah, I just wanted to. Can I say something quick?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say something about one of our department heads, Ken, our inspectors. Can you hear me? I received a call from one of our residents that was having some questions about a fence. And, you know, it's always a little bit scary to call the inspector, you know, in other communities. And they were hesitant, but I said, you know, just give them a call. And they called you, and they could not talk enough about how professional you were, nice, caring, and I just thank you, because that I really appreciate that. Good job. Well done.
Anyone else on the board have comments before we go on? No, yes, there are none. I take motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Nobody wants to go home?
I just did.
We'll take our first and second, and we'll take a roll call for adjournment for my time and last time.
Trustee Malek?
Aye.
Trustee Sabrowski?
Aye.
Trustee Chadwick? Trustee McFall?
Aye.
Trustee Sell?
Aye.
President Birmingham?
Aye.
Trustee Barbie?
Nay.